Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. 65 million years ago, all kinds of animals existed on Earth, including very fierce snapperfish. However, they would flee in fear whenever a T-Rex dinosaur approached. The snapperfish would jump into the water, but the T-Rex managed to catch one. Suddenly, a giant megalodon shark appeared and devoured the dinosaur. In the present day, Jonas was on a new mission. He used some tools to create explosives and make a hole in the wall. He was on a large ship filled with containers in the Philippine Sea. Sneaking inside, he discovered workers dumping chemicals into the water, so he filmed them. He then entered an office to photograph records and documents, but a parrot exposed Jonas by squawking and calling for help. A group of men arrived to investigate, and Jonas started running. In a tense chase, he ran toward the edge of the ship. Surrounded by the men, Jonas jumped into the ocean. His friends, Mac and Rigas, arrived in a plane, flying over the water to rescue him. Later, at an institute in China, we see Hillary and Juming testing their latest invention, a suit that grants its wearer super strength. With the suit, Juming was able to crush two large rocks, proving it was ready for their upcoming expedition to the ocean trench. Juming's niece, Mei Ying, reminded them to prepare for the evening's party. That night, the institute hosted a grand celebration, and Jonas was present. Juming took the stage to reveal the institute's pet housed in the pool behind him, a female megalodon named Heike. Captured as a baby, the Chinese Institute team had learned much from Heike and built submarines capable of taking the team to the deep-sea trench where other megalodons like Heike lived. The next day, they planned an exploratory mission to the trench. The following day, Mei Ying asked Jonas if she could join the expedition, but he refused, saying it was too dangerous for her as she was still young. Rigas interrupted, saying that Juming had entered Heike's enclosure. The three rushed to the window, and Jonas warned Juming that what he was doing was dangerous. Juming reassured them that everything was under control. Using a device that emitted a pulsing sound, he attracted Heike's attention. She approached him slowly but then swam away. Suddenly, Heike rushed toward Juming, and he disappeared underwater. Everyone thought Heike had attacked him, but Juming reappeared in the enclosure, having escaped at the last moment. He described the experience as thrilling, but Jonas scolded him for his recklessness. They noted that Heike had been behaving strangely for a week. Later, the team flew to their research center at sea. That night, Heike searched for a way to escape, swimming rapidly and ramming her head against the bars of her enclosure. The next day, the team prepared their equipment and divided into two submarines, Jonas, Rigas, and Sal in the first, and Juming, Lance, and Curtis in the second. Mac, Jess, and Brad stayed in the control room to monitor the radar. As the submarines descended to the ocean floor, they noticed movement on the surveillance cameras. It was Mei Ying, who had sneaked onto the submarine unnoticed. The mission was nearly canceled because of her, and they started to head back. Suddenly, the radar detected a megalodon nearby, and the computer identified Heike's tracking device in the water. This confirmed that the radar had spotted Heike, but she appeared to be behaving aggressively. The submarines entered the thermal layer leading to the trench. As they descended deeper, they were shocked to see another megalodon, much larger than Heike. Juming suggested following the shark to study it, but the others disagreed, as they were entering uncharted territory. Ignoring their concerns, Juming led them into the area, which turned out to be a beautiful place filled with plants. They continued exploring and discovered a third megalodon. They observed Heike and the two other megalodons interacting and realized they were mating, explaining Heike's recent strange behavior. Their sonar detected a destroyed underwater station nearby, along with a submarine. Inside the submarine was a man named Montes, who was conducting illegal mining operations. His workers were planting explosives to extract minerals. When Montes discovered the two submarines approaching, he detonated the explosives, killing his workers and fleeing. The explosions caused the two submarines to lose balance. Rocks fell on them, damaging the submarines and cutting off communication with the control room. In the control room, Mac ordered Jess to prepare the rescue ship, but Jess discovered it had been sabotaged, indicating a traitor among the team. Sal managed to fix the damages, and Jonas contacted Mac, who informed him that no rescue could be sent. Jonas decided they would wear the supersuits and head to the underwater station they had seen earlier. However, they needed to move quickly, as the suits only had 2 hours of oxygen. The team donned the suits, left the submarine, and began walking. Jonas noticed someone nearby. It was Juming and his group, who had the same idea and entered the water. The area they were in was beautiful, with plants and coral reefs. While Lance was observing the surroundings, a squid attacked him, sticking to his helmet. The team intervened, scaring the squid away. They continued walking, seeing small creatures moving beneath them. Suddenly, they noticed movement in the darkness. When they turned, Lance had disappeared, leaving only his helmet behind. It was too risky for the team to search for him, so they continued on their way. Meanwhile, Mac instructed Jess and Brad to review surveillance footage and employee files to identify the traitor. Elsewhere, Montes contacted Hillary, Juming's partner at the Chinese Institute, revealing that she was the team's mole. Hillary ordered Montes to kill Jonas and his team. Back in the water, the team used the suit's red light beams to conserve energy. Sal, feeling anxious and scared, began losing oxygen. The radar detected some unidentified fish approaching them, and fish they had never seen before passed by them. The radar activated again, revealing a group of snappers that attacked the team. The team fought back, but Curtis's helmet was damaged. Jioming noticed that Yiming was in danger, so he lit a flare, causing the snappers to disappear. Unfortunately, the flare attracted two megalodons. Jioming told the team he would distract the megalodons so they could escape, but Jones refused the idea, fearing for his friend's life. Jones grabbed the flare and threw it away. One of the megalodons followed the flare and crashed into a bridge, causing collapses. Debris fell on them, and Yiming almost got crushed, but she escaped in time. Isal struggled to breathe as her oxygen ran out, sacrificing herself to save Guillaume before the shark could attack him. Curtis grabbed Guillaume, and they escaped from the approaching shark. The team reached the destroyed station. The shark tried to break the door, but they managed to secure it. Unfortunately, the damage affected Curtis's helmet, leading to his death, leaving everyone grieving. Afterward, they removed their suits and inspected the area. Once they confirmed no one was there, they headed to the control room. Yiming tried to contact Mac, while the team discovered a high-value metal extracted from the ocean, used for spacecraft. Eventually, Yiming connected with Jess, who informed them that the other side of the station had two emergency capsules they could use to escape. The team moved toward them. On the way, Guillaume was shocked to find that the workers had used the supersuits he invented. Realizing someone had stolen his creation, they continued, passing through an electric door, finding the two emergency capsules. As they tried to activate them, the door behind them closed, and a screen turned on, showing Jess. She revealed she controlled the station and had locked them in. To prove she was serious, she launched the first capsule into the water. Meanwhile, Hillary watched everything unfold. Jess told Regis she would allow her to escape if she killed Jones. Regis aimed her weapon at him, but Jones encouraged her to do it to save the others. Regis couldn't go through with it, so Jess launched the second capsule as well. With both capsules gone, the team lost their chance of escape. Hillary intervened, revealing her plan and sending her men to deal with the workers at the research center. She ordered Jess to maintain control, declaring that everyone would die and she would take over the company and continue mining the metals. Jess opened a ceiling hatch, flooding the room where Jones and the team were. Their only chance for survival was to open the door, but to do so, they needed to take control from Jess. Jones volunteered to go into the ocean, enduring the water pressure and lack of oxygen to reach the pressure control room and disconnect Jess. As soon as he exited, he began bleeding due to the intense water pressure and encountered a shark. Jones used a flare to fend off the shark. He was about to cut the connection when he fainted from a lack of oxygen. When Jones regained consciousness, he realized Mantis had saved him. Mantis wanted to kill Jones himself as revenge for being sent to prison by him years ago. Meanwhile, the team struggled with the flooding water. Mantis and Jones fought each other, using anything they could find. Both fell onto a machine, and Jones hit Mantis with a rod, throwing it into the machine to disable it. Mantis tried to attack again, but Jones pushed him into the water. Jones made it to the control room where he worked to cut Jess's connection. Mantis returned to attack, but Jones knocked him out with a shovel. Finally, Jones opened the door, saving his friends. The team decided to use Mantis's submarine to escape, but discover it wasn't shark-proof. They needed to distract the megalodon somehow. Jioming volunteered to return to the destroyed station and light it up. He quickly reached the control room and activated all the lights, drawing the megalodons to attack the station. The building shook as Regis feared it might collapse. Jioming rushed back to the submarine, and they moved just in time. On their way to the surface, Jones realized the explosives that had targeted Mantis's workers created a large hole in the thermal barrier. The thermal barrier was what separated the megalodons from the human ocean. Jones wasn't worried as the barrier would close quickly, but they didn't realize many creatures had already crossed. Mantis managed to escape by wearing a supersuit and clinging to a buoy. At the control room, Mac and Brad watched camera footage and discovered Jess was the spy. At the same time, Hillary's mercenaries arrived, and Jess ordered them to kill anyone in their way. Mac and Brad overheard the mercenaries outside, devising a plan. They opened the door, with Mac spraying their eyes and Brad attacking Jess. Mac and Brad fled, but encountered more mercenaries, managing to defeat them and jump into the water. They returned to the research center, but were captured this time. As the mercenaries escorted them, they spotted Guillaume, who distracted them by speaking Chinese. The trick worked, allowing Jones to intervene and defeat them. Mantis entered the research center, meeting Jess, who turned out to be his wife. He then rejoined the team, who boarded a rescue vehicle to escape. The mercenaries pursued them in another vehicle, preparing to attack a nearby shark. Before they could fire, the Megalodon devoured them all at once, allowing Jones's team to escape. Mantis contacted Hillary to renegotiate, and she promised him a large sum if he killed Jones. Jones crafted a makeshift bomb as their vessel neared the shore. They approached an island full of tourists and festivities, with dolphins fleeing rapidly. On a nearby ship, a man proposed to his girlfriend but dropped the ring. When he retrieved it, he couldn't find her. Suddenly, the ship began shaking and people fell into the water. And there's a strange creature catching them. Hillary and Mantis arrived at the island by helicopter. But when they entered the forest, snapperfish attacked them, and the mercenaries opened fire on them, but to no avail. Hillary was waiting for them in the plane and started to feel scared, so she called out to Mantis, which made her vulnerable to attack by the snapperfish that climbed into the plane and struck her from behind. Meanwhile, on the beach, our team was warning people about the approaching sharks, causing everyone to run in fear. At that moment, the terror of the seas, the Megalodon, arrived at the shore and began devouring anyone it could find. Jones told Manning to hide, while he, Mac, and Gumyoung searched for a jet ski and other materials to make a bomb. Bride and Regis entered a hut to use the phone, but the landline wasn't working. They noticed that the snapperfish were taking out the mercenaries, so they decided to hide and observe them through the mirror. Back to Jones, who discovered there was only one jet ski. He took the spears from his friends and set off to face the sharks alone, unaware that Mantis was watching him from afar. Meanwhile, Gumyoung and Mac entered a storage area and found raw materials to make bombs. Unfortunately, the mercenaries arrived after escaping the snapperfish. Jones was speeding away on the jet ski, with the three sharks chasing him as he had planned. He made a jump just as one of them was about to catch him, falling into the water. When he got back, he tried to start the jet ski, but it wouldn't start. A Megalodon nearly caught him, but Jones quickly escaped after getting the jet ski running. Elsewhere, Brad and Regis were waiting for the snapperfish to leave, but the snappers came back for them. Our friends started running and entered the storage area, only to be captured like their teammates. Gumyoung distracted the mercenaries and kept talking to them, then pushed Brad onto a button that opened the storage room door. The snapperfish entered and attacked the mercenaries. Our team took advantage of the situation, grabbed the explosive materials, and ran. A stray bullet from the mercenaries caused an explosion that destroyed the storage area. Afterward, Brad used the stolen phone to call for help, while Mac and Gumyoung went to look for Hillary's plane. When they found the plane, a snapperfish was there. Gumyoung distracted it while Mac boarded the plane. The snapperfish was strong, and Gumyoung struggled with it, but in the end, he managed to kill it by driving a shovel into its head. However, more snappers started coming after hearing the sound of the dying fish. Gumyoung quickly grabbed a gas gun, put it in the plane, jumped inside, and Mac took off. Unfortunately, Gumyoung fell from the plane and became trapped. He started spraying gasoline on the fish to keep them away. At that moment, Mac fired from the plane, causing a massive explosion due to the gasoline on the ground. At the same time, Gumyoung managed to jump back into the plane. In the sea, Jones faced the Megalodon sharks. He threw the first explosive spear at them, but it had no effect. Riding the waves, he threw the second spear and killed one of the sharks. When he was about to throw the last spear, it slipped from his hand after Mantis shot at him. Now Jones had to speed away to escape both Mantis and the Megalodon. On the shore, a giant octopus was grabbing people and dragging them into the water. Manning saw what was happening and decided to help. She entered the water to save people, and Gumyoung noticed her. He was making a bomb on the plane but left his tools to save Manning. The octopus attacked the plane, so Gumyoung jumped with the bomb and the plane crashed into the water. Meanwhile, the Megalodon hit Jones's jet ski. Jones jumped onto a bridge just before he was caught, but the shark broke the bridge to get to him. Fortunately, it got tangled in the chains by mistake, so Jones hid under the bridge. Gumyoung tried to rescue Manning from the octopus's grasp, while Mantis fired randomly at the bridge to kill Jones. Jones grabbed a piece of wood and stabbed Mantis in the leg, causing him to bleed, which attracted the Megalodon. As the Megalodon approached, Jones kicked Mantis into its mouth, and the shark devoured him. The octopus continued wreaking havoc, uncontrollable, and grabbing Gumyoung. Gumyoung stuck the bomb he had onto the octopus's belly, but unfortunately, it didn't affect the octopus. The octopus grabbed the shark as well, but when Heike saw Gumyoung in danger, she bit the octopus's arms to free him and then devoured the octopus, killing it. After Gumyoung was freed, he worked on the plane to save Mac. The second Megalodon approached, but Jones grabbed one of the plane's arms and struck it into the water, making noise to attract the shark. When the shark approached and opened its mouth to eat him, Jones stabbed it in the mouth with the plane's arm, finally killing it. The tourists returned to the shore, and Manning saved a dog. A snapperfish appeared, but Brad killed it. Jones, Mac, and Gumyung were heading back to the shore, but Heike was following them. Gumyung jumped into the water and used his sound-emitting device, causing Heike to back off when she realized it was Gumyung. Everyone returned to the shore safely, and the Coast Guard finally arrived, albeit late. They all sat on the shore, wondering if Heike was pregnant. And with that, we've reached the end of the episode. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.